all of our social channels from Facebook to YouTube to Pinterest and some of the other ones in between. So I want to have everyone participating in the social channels or on Zoom here, and I'm very excited to have you attend this New Year, New You webinar itself. So as always, if you're joining us on Zoom, you can add in your questions in the chat box or the Q&A box below as a way to interact with the team. We always try to get to those questions during the live stream and make this interactive. So if you have things you want to bring up or things you want to ask, go ahead and type it in there. And Laurel, as we're starting today, what's one thing they should type into the chat box as we get going?
That's what I was thinking. I think that we should start with, well, first, the easy stuff. Where are you calling in from? Hi, Jay. I think the easy stuff, but more importantly, we're going to talk about commitments. This is new year and a new you. So let's just get some trial practices. What is a commitment that you want for 2021? Let's just get some, where are you calling from and what your commitment is. Oh, wow, Thomas started it out. I'm committed to doubling my income this year.
Little example there for everyone. And if you're on the social channels, go ahead and just type it in there as well, too. I know we have thousands of people in our Millionaires in Training Facebook group. Would love to see the feedback on there as well, too.
Yep. And I'm just going to give some feedback right away. Jay, keeping the momentum going that's a comment. That's not a commitment. So commitment, I'm going to coach Thomas a little. So think SMART. We'll review it. So specific, measurable, achievable. You want some like reality, some like real time frame, right? So I would say R&T, like some real time frames to it. So he's got the year in there, got the double, which is specific. Measurable, so you may want to say like, how are you going to do that? So a little more on that. And we already know it's achievable, probably because I know him though. So let's get really clear. Launch or at least make 10,000 a month to start. By when, Michelle? Be clearer. The more clear you can be, the better this thing's going to go. And we are going to be together for 21 days in this process.
And that is a great goal-setting acronym that I know you're going to be working through there, Laurel. If you want to go through that one more time on the SMART goals, I'll type that up. So it's specific.
Yep. Specific, measurable, achievable. So achievable, it would be no fantasy island stuff. So you can't say, well, I'm going to make 100,000 a month when you haven't even made 10. I mean, you could maybe by the end of the year, but the chances without, I'm going to say it frankly, our mentoring, good luck, because you got a lot of systems to put in. And you got to spend that money properly. And then it's the reality. So there's a realness to it, right? Is it real? Is it like something people are going to buy? And then there's a timeline to it. Okay, realistic.
And what's the T for?
Timeline.
Oh, time. That's right.
There's a timeline. When are you going to do it? So like 10,000 a month. So I'm being specific. Applying. Yep.
There we go.
Awesome. Nancy Cable, what happened to Nature's? As far as I know, they're still up and running, but I'll take a note and make sure I get back to you personally on that. I will take some notes for those of you that are in the big table. Also, just one quick announcement before we jump in, because we have a lot of content. We're going to go well into past an hour. So get a pen and paper. You will have a replay of this because you know me, I'm going to go quick. We're going to cover a lot, very specific content. And then tomorrow from 10 to 6 p.m. Pacific, right? We have a big table. Never done one like this before, but we got to put it in. So we didn't really get we got a Q4 October. We were in Kansas, but this was too many months to go without our big table, folks. So we are well into hundreds registered. If you are on the big table, Thomas, maybe put the big table link. And by the way, if you're not in the big table and you try to register, Miss Jordan is going to call you and say, wasn't that cute? Just pay for your tuition, sign a contract, and then you get to go. So it is for big table members that are fully committed. And at 10 o'clock, we are going to do new. We have a brand new grid on financial infrastructure, how that's going to work for you. And we have conversation circles and expert panels. We're going to do a transition. And then in the afternoon, will be all about alternative education, investing, strategies, and new stuff coming. So fairly new process of content that's coming in. Again, 21 days later on January 6th, we'll do our second day. So we're going to do a 2-day table. It's just going to be spread out over 21 days. just like this. So this is really for everyone, as I'm going to say, our community at large. And again, Steve, if you want to jump to the PowerPoints there. 2021 is coming around. So it's interesting. Let's stay in the chat. I'm going to keep you very active, and I want you committed and thinking. Make sure I get my PowerPoint where I can see it over here and fit to my window. All right. So a few things that happened for us in 2020. And so what I'd like to know with you is what was, wow, Thomas, are you still there? I saw you.
I'm still here, just getting everything handled behind the scenes with Steve.
Yep.
So getting links out, getting people registered.
Which way? I want a little collaboration on this next question. Do we want to go? No, we got to keep it positive. I was going to go. It's like, what's the worst thing, the most shocking thing, the best thing for 2020? Because we got to kind of get there and complete. Where do we want to go? Where do you think? Help me vote.
Let's look at the opportunity in what 2020 was, right? There were a lot of things that were negative, but I think one of the things I love about this community is the way that we take something that could be negative and look for the opportunity to make it better and make it, work for everyone else. So there's a lot of businesses out there right now that are needing assistance, right? And there's a lot of people right now who have the opportunity to learn how to make money and better their lives. So I'll say it that way. And I like the way that Kim put it there right in the chat, how to pivot and find new opportunities.
Yep, absolutely. And so Dan, just really quick on a few things, said he didn't receive a confirmation. So Thomas, again, if you want to help Damon, let's get out a confirmation for exactly how to be in or put the link out. It is one day, all day. I love cheap money, great financing. You are correct. It was awesome mortgage and still is a great, great time. Michelle, yep, you know what our wild card shuffle is, and you are going to win again. Awesome. So 2020, what was the biggest surprise opportunity that came out of it for you? Let's type that up and let's see what we all got out there. And by the way, we are recording to all live channels. You were able to sleep. Come on, let's keep it about money, people. Yeah, right? Didn't you love that? Yeah, we're going to have some really great cryptocurrency, digital currency education, just how to use it on a more practical structure as we head into 2021. Got a lot of fun stuff. 6 degrees of separation went to 2. Totally correct. Awesome. All right, so let's jump. There we go. So 2021 wildcard shuffle. We have a brand new social sharing process we're going to put in. We have a lot of campaigns. So the way that this all works, and again, like Thomas said, I don't even remember the first year. It had to have been 15 years ago. We just said, we're one of the only communities that end the year in a very active structure and begin the year in a very active structure because it's money. This is that last moment to get it together. So you have got to get it together, get your structure together, make sure you are set, make sure 2020 isn't a loss. Just wash your hands of it. Now, all saying that, from a financial P&L standpoint, it might be a loss, but make sure you do the right carry forward losses in your tax returns. So if of all the trainings, virtual, okay, I'm just reading through. I'm going to let you read. I'm going to keep going, Thomas. If there's something critical that I need to be made aware of, let me know.
Yep.
So I have kind of 3 big areas. We're going to go through a very specific process that I've taught now, which is kind of what we're known for years, and how to complete a year and begin another year. And then I have 2 awesome commitment campaigns that are going to be fun, keep us together and keep us interacting. So, like the only day probably someone won't be answering your, emails, texts, or phone calls is on the later on the 24th and the 25th. The whole team's going to go away. And then again, later on the 31st and 1st. If it's urgent, you will get handled. So that's who we're known for. We're known for always being available to you. And also we will kind of determine if your crisis is a crisis, because some of you, we've been asking you to do some things for a while and you haven't done them. So before we get started, Steve, if you want to move to the next slide, again, educational purposes only. We have to put this up. We are going to talk about not as much today. I can tell you tomorrow, those of you that are in the big table, you're going to love I'm going to say the new conversation. It's always the same kind of conversation, but the depth and the level of intimacy that you're going to get as we prepared a resource team and an expert team for your, utilization, and really have been planning with them as a whole team. So super fun. That is very new and hasn't been done in years. So I think that's going to help a lot of you stay very, very connected. So again, educational purposes, we are going to talk, in general, always talk about tax, business, finance, law, things like that. Some of the things in 2021, go to the next slide, Steve, that were really important for us is to really look at, now that we are operating from Zoom, we're all becoming Zoombies, I call it, is we updated some things. So yes, our company is still Live Out Loud, but Live Out Loud became a very overused, every industry had it. From Oprah using it as a slogan to rappers using it as a song, Christian songwriters, Steve Curtis Chapman uses it as a Live Out Loud song. I mean, to SEO and to get traffic when every other vertical was out there, and Thomas, jump in whenever you want to add to this. It was crazy. It became ridiculous for us. So we said, well, who are we? And we got some really great branding. Integrated wealth systems is what we do. We help integrate your wealth, your system, your team. And again, our mission is committed to helping you, create and build wealth by changing your conversation about money, which is why we are so live with you all the time. We want to be our conversation in your household. We believe that what we're talking about should be taught in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. One of the other big things that's going to help get this in the households, and a little bit delay, is the book that Kyle and I wrote on how to create millionaire kids. So our book was going to be out actually August, September. We put a little bit of a focus group postponement on it. And now we are looking at a big New York publisher, actually the one that did my Millionaire Maker books, to bring it through as a 4th Millionaire Maker in the series. So super excited because our goal is to get in your household and get in this conversation, and super excited about what we're up to and how it's shifting in 2021. 2020, it just was exhausting. It lasted a very long time. So what it caused us to do is become, I'd say, much more intimate in your businesses. A lot of decision-making and financial analysis of whether you should stay alive. I am going to say we have another initiative that will be going through the beginning of the year, currently on the site, called supportnevada.com. You can watch us endorsing and supporting small business, the economics of small business, the fairness of small business. So huge initiatives that are starting and going on in the state of Nevada. And as we become successful, we'd love to share our strategy so your state can be successful. Some of you live in pretty wide open states, but some of you, your shutdowns are going to kill you. It doesn't even make sense to stay open. So it is what it is. And this has been going on a long time. I don't see that there's going to be a big uplift. So you as the entrepreneur, you as the wealth builder, you've got to figure out in your household, how are you going to design 2021 that isn't going to be just shut the curtains and stay in your COVID coma. Let's just stop using that term and all of those, initiatives, and say, how are you going to stay healthy as a business? And that's a huge part of it as we move into 2021, is to help you stay healthy as a business, financially viable, shift, transition, pivot, whatever word you want to use, to some other offers. What else are you going to offer people? One of my longtime friends and mentors challenged me the other day on a summit to do a program. He's been challenging me, I don't even know, for probably 3 to 5 years. He said, I need you to do a business, a high-end class on how to buy and sell companies. And right now it is just necessary, because a lot of you are sitting on money, and you could keep these businesses alive in your community by being their financial partner. So there's never a time that Shark Tank has leveled the playing field. I mean, every one of you live in communities where somebody somewhere has a business that needs financial help. So I am going to do that. We're committed to doing that. So watch our calendar. Our team, again, just like we're asking you to do, we put our heads down and we get to a lot of planning, a lot of rework, a lot of processes, and we'll be coming out with a 2021 calendar. We've already told you our new book. We're going to do a lot of crypto training. And I think this one I'm going to go do. So I'm curious, would you want to see a workshop like that called How to Buy and Sell Companies? So that's from your local auto body shop to your local hair salon to your whatever, I don't care if it's your hobby store, your craft store, your wine store. Would you want to know how we actually look at it as a shark? How do we evaluate? How do we look? How do we transition? And then how do you put the deal together? Would you come to it if I, I know Roland Frazier really, really well. I love him. He's amazing. And yeah, there's a ton of nothing down opportunities, but yep. And
a lot of response there in the chat box there, Laurel. What I love is that this is exactly what we talk about during our workshop, of which there's going to be one this week, where we pre-sell and get the idea for the business ahead of time. So love to see it in action there. Love to see it as a real life example for everyone.
Yep.
And it sounds like a lot of people would enjoy that course.
Yeah, good. So I'll have to go make it up.
Yep.
I know how to do it here. Just like when McGraw-Hill came to me in 2005 and said, "We want you to write a book on money." And by the way, it wasn't named The Millionaire Maker until right before it came out. And I said, "Well, what do you want?" And they said, "Well, you make millionaires. Like, show us how you do it." And I said, "I don't know. I just go on real estate tours and people follow me around." And one day I started charging them $2,500 and $5,000, and they just do what I say. "Well, where'd you write it down?" I said, "I don't have written anything down." So there you go. So this is another one. And I say that just in full transparency, because I think a lot of you're sitting on a lot of opportunities, but you don't know how to transfer it. You don't know how to translate it. So like bring those opportunities to your coach. A lot of you that are out here, you are in our coaching programs. So just, engage in the things you're really wanting and learning. And it's how, we're in this conversation. That's why on the screen is conversations, because you can read a book and you can listen to something, but the way you interpret it is based on past thought. So if you don't have a lot of experience going on back here, when you say, I got to think about it or process it, you're processing it against a kind of a wrong baseline. So the conversation through laser calls, through fast cash calls, through all of our calls, help us make sure that with the way you're interpreting your plan and what you're going to be doing is accurate, because a little bit off means a lot off, and a lot of cogs in the wheel get broke. So if you put up the next screen, this is our up to date website. We're going to guide you all back to our integratedwealthsystems.com website. If you still have liveoutloud.com, it just forwards to here. This is a brand, it's not a company. And it's just where we are. And we'll be putting up a big burst on here. So Thomas and Steve, if you want to have Andrew put up a burst, if it's not there, about our New Year, New You 21-day campaigns and processes. So next slide. Again, the other thing we did is we moved all of our everything from being an affiliate to our marketplace to Big Table to Fast Cash. Anything you do with us now is inside of an academy structure. Thomas, do you want to say a little bit about this, you or Steve? I know we just wanted to kind of update the things in 2021 we did while we were hanging out at home, which we updated the Integrated Wealth brand, the website, and then the academy.
Right. And a lot of that was designed to get people better access to the courses and everything that they are involved with. So whether you're the Big Table, 100K Challenge, to Acceleration Coaching members, or even the video courses, everything is in that academy, very easy to access. And just as Ava said there, signed up as an affiliate, we even have affiliate courses for our partners in the affiliate space. So if you're selling Laurel's book, you're selling Laurel's board game, we have literally almost 10 hours worth of marketing tutorials, walkthroughs, examples, ad copy, swipe copy, everything you would need to be successful as an affiliate. It's all there in that academy session. So really happy to this year have everything set up in place to move to that online method that we talked about. Thankfully, having the infrastructure in place once the COVID shutdowns kind of happened, and we had to pivot on a dime. So really, this this new online method of delivery really isn't going to go anywhere. Even once the vaccine is rolled out and it's essentially over, this online space delivery is going to be here for a while. So learn from our lessons, learn from what we did this year, and take that to heart. Jay, it is a great portal. A lot of good work was done on that from the team here.
Yep. And I will let Ava, Thomas, you can answer where the academy is and talk about that with her offline. And so anything that you need, again, we got a whole team out here that will be taking things offline and helping more one-on-one. But I do want to just say one of the fun things that I would love to challenge, and I know Thomas put it out the other day on our affiliate call, so we can put it out here now. If you want to put it into your 2021 plan, is I want to prove a point like I made my Millionaire Kids and then we wrote a book. So I'd like to prove that we can make 6-figure affiliates. I just know we can, but you got to commit. So we have a process that I made up. I don't know. I mean, we kind of jointly made it up as a team, and it kind of got really clear a couple of weeks ago that if you bring us 10 people to the marketplace event, our ability with our team to probably put 4 of those people, if they're qualified people, into the Big Table would make you over $5,000. So if you do that twice a month, because we're doing our marketplace twice a month, next year we are committed to 24 marketplaces. So we're doing them on average twice a month. So if you, as an affiliate, bring us, and again, the tickets are $97. They can bring a guest. So you bring us 10, we sell 4, you make 5. We do it again the next within 2 weeks. I want to prove that you can make $120,000 a year just being an affiliate of ours. And you got to bring us 20 people a month, good qualified people. Right. So not just, pixel, drop-ins and little, half-baked leads, like people who really appreciate your influence. So anything else you want to say about that, Thomas? I'm excited about that. I want to prove that we can make 4 of you, which will take more of you, but I want 4 to raise your hand and tell Thomas that you want to be, taken under our wing, and we're going to prove that you can be a $120,000 affiliate in addition to everything else you're doing. I mean, that's what I did. What I was with Kiyosaki. Think about it that way. I was making over $500,000. Sometimes I think my biggest year with him was right under $1 million. And I was essentially affiliate. I was selling his stuff, but selling my coaching. So I would use his products in game because I didn't have any stuff, and I would use my coaching. And I was just, it's not difficult. It is not difficult to do what I'm asking you to do. So I know I did it way back in the day. And so who wants to do it? All right, you got some takers there.
Yep, we're actually going to give out a new link because we've had a number of people ask about this, that they've wanted an easier way to figure out where to get signed up as an affiliate. So literally what we're doing right now is putting that up. So
simple.
If you're interested, you want to go to askloral.com/affiliate. I'm typing that in right there. Oh, I need to give it to the right people.
There you go.
But askloral.com affiliate will get you to where you can sign up to be an affiliate partner in terms of selling Laurel's programs, books, and everything else that we have going on here, and earn affiliate commissions for doing so. Now, again, as Laurel talked about, in the past, we talked about how to make $120,000 / $10,000 a month. One way would be to sell 3 board games. And as we kind of looked at it, it's like, that's a great example to use for revenue modeling, for selling small stuff and moving up. But there's an easier way to do it, in a faster way, and that's just get 10 people to each event as we do them twice per month, and that would be the other way that you'd be able to do that. And there's plenty of interest, there's plenty of desire to learn about Laurel's conversation right now because of the economic, essentially, upheaval that's occurred in the last year, and unfortunately, it's not going away anytime soon. And there's so many things that people need to be learning about that this conversation really is something that anyone can have and needs to be having on a regular basis. So it's a perfect method for all you as affiliates to help other people out, serve them, and be rewarded for doing so.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to actually make one more. No, I'm not going to make any more announcements. That's good for now. And remember, the other half of this class is on January 5th, same time, 12 noon Pacific. So make sure, we're going to go through, so get a pen and paper. We're going to get some other things underway here. Then next Tuesday, we'll meet with you. The next Tuesday, we'll meet with you. And then January 5th, we're going to make big announcements. And then we'll make more announcements into 2021 and what our commitments are, not only to you as a community, but also to what we're going to be doing to grow. And Thomas knows the one we're going to be doing, but we can't tell you right now. I think it's just too many announcements right now. So let's talk about making a commitment. Let's move to the next slide and jump into some, got kind of 2 big bodies of content and 2 really fun campaigns that we're going to be inviting you into doing. So commitments versus resolutions. So, one of the things I always say is, people enter a new year and do New Year's resolutions. And that's kind of why we have this New Year, New You whole theme, is resolutions are an interesting comment. Right. And the 2 things that everybody comes up with, and maybe you can put in the chat now, it's kind of funny. You could tell us, in 2020, because nobody knew COVID. I mean, I guess it was kind of in the background and you knew it was going on in China and all that. But nobody knew what was going to happen in March. And nobody talked out loud and nobody predicted it. So 2020, I know, when we entered 2020, I mean, my 2020 was going to be transition year. I just had that as a whole process. That didn't happen. If anything, we got to the playing field and we've been more active and so engaged because we know how to help you and you need our money and business help. So that kind of went out the window. But what was a 2020 commitment that you did? What was the result that you wanted in 2020? And notice I'm not saying the resolution. You could have called it that, but we're going to start atrophying that word. We want commitments and results is our language. We don't want resolutions because those are little soft comments. So most people say, well, I'm going to make more money and lose weight. Those are the typical 2. or I'm going to find the relationship of my life. I'm going to find my soulmate. Like, what were some of yours things? Like when you walk in, if you think back 2020, January, I mean, I know like that seems like 19 years ago. It was only, this year is only 11 and a half months ago. But what were some, let's put some in the chat. What were some of the things that you said you'd want 2020 to be? And then interesting, did it happen or not? Like I didn't transition. I mean, anything we did for 2020 is like, that got so blown out of the water. It was kind of cute. We were going to do a big summit. Remember, we were going to like come back and do a big summit around the book launch. Well, the book didn't launch and the summit didn't happen. So, I mean, and I'm sharing things because notice I'm unattached to them. I don't see that this was a failing year. It was just a different year. And I think a lot of you, when you complete a year, especially one like this, like you couldn't even compare this. I mean, 2008, 9, and 10 were like a damn walk in the park compared to what we've been through. Right. So, I mean, anybody who gets to say, you know what I like in 2022, it's like those years when you heard your grandparents or great grandparents say, you know, I used to walk to school in the cold. I used to have to do all this shit, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like 2020 is going to be I had to wear a mask. You know, we're going to be those parents and grandparents that are going to be like, you have no idea the hell we lived through. we're going to be that generation of weird people like that, or not. We don't have to be. I don't want to be.
Right. Well, and there's a good point to that, Laurel, because we're thinking about that. Obviously, you know, we've been planning for 2021 over the past several weeks, and we were kind of thinking about it last week during one of the meetings on how much effort and time we put into, finalizing the rest of the plan for 2020. And we did that about, February and March, right when everything went to hell in a handbasket, right? And you can't view that as a sunk cost you have to commit to. That has to be a thing that you pivot away from, no matter how painful it may be to do so. Understand that that's what you need to do.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, it was interesting picking up our 2021 documents and business plans. We hadn't touched them since February, March. I mean, like we were week to week. Now what do we do? Now what do we do? Now what should we do? Now what should we make up? So I think a lot of you were doing that and doing it with us. So let's get into commitments. So it's interesting statistics, right? 88% of resolutions fail, and usually in the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then you're on to the next year, and then the same thing always happens, right? Over 200 million fails resolutions at least every year. Why? Because resolutions lack the actual commitment and the real action. So again, we mentioned earlier the SMART goals, being very specific about the result you want. And one of the things actually, and I'm making my to-do list for 2021 is it's like action. I'm going to write down action equals a result. A lot of times, I'm just noticing, and I'm not going to be critical, but I'm going to give a little feedback too. Like notice the cliches that some of you hang on to versus like, I want you really dissecting. And it's one of the things I just have a gift. I just know how to like watch and see through it. Is what you're doing affecting your checkbook, your P&L? Is it really affecting it? Or are you just doing a bunch of damn busy work? And a lot of you, because you are and I'm not going to make fun of other people, even though I probably should and would, they have you doing a lot of busy work, a lot of busy things, and you may feel good in the moment. But here's what I know about money and your business. If your P&L is not growing, your checkbook's not growing, your ability to buy a team and to buy more and grow your company isn't happening, you are not feeling that successful. So there's a connection point to, and Bob Proctor's taught it to me this way: give me your calendar and give me your checkbook, and I'll tell you what's important to you. And I think you really got to get real with that. And as we head into 2021, we'll make that a big point of really, I think, teaching that. Again, I haven't, taught it in a very broke down way on what's the formula to do that. But we're rigorous about it. I mean, our whole team, we work together here, in an office here in Northern Nevada, except for Thomas, he's one of our remotes. But we're really specific. Like we just don't do what you do because your job says to do it. Is if it doesn't create a result by the end of the day, your day tomorrow better not look like that day again. Like it's not just a grind. It's not like that. There's a creativity to it. There's a shift to it. And it's all in the intention of getting a result. Or why are you doing this? Like, I don't want you to be pseudo entrepreneurs and just say, well, I'm an expert in blah, blah, blah. And then you actually have no result, or you don't have a growing result. Like those of you that have been with us since April, May, your commitment to a result should be headed towards 10,000, 15, 20,000 a month. And if you need to do it, here's what I'm going to say. And I did learn it this way, is if you need to do it with us and as affiliate, it's not a less than position to take. I did it with Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechter, right? I used their products, my coaching, and then I learned how to get the team. But I had a damn good I had a big, business behind me. I mean, by the time 97, 98, when the book became a bestseller, not in 96 when I started with them, I was following a Japanese guy in a game around. I mean, nobody knew who Rich Dad Poor Dad was till really 97, 98, 99. So if you've got to use, say, use me, use it. Because a lot of you, like the amount of lessons, and Thomas finally disclosed to me yesterday, he told me probably not even go look at the affiliate site because I'd probably shoot him. So I understand that my team gave you like an unprecedented amount of marketing, sales, like a ton of resources out there, more than we normally even give people. So if use our affiliate program, so call it like a network marketing company. That's another thing. Use somebody else's stuff, I guess, is the theme to figure out this action to a result. Some of you have just been busy in 2020, right? You were busy on a webinar that nobody bought from you. You were busy writing a book no one bought from you. You were busy building a bunch of stuff no one bought from you. That's not how we would teach you to do it. And there's a lot of programs you're going to, and you're backwards. You're divining something and no one has bought it. I need you back in our marketplace, back in our graduate marketplace. So you're selling stuff, then you go out and build it. You sell it, then you go build it. And it's a constant cycle. And a lot of you haven't figured that out yet. You think it's like a one-time thing. It's in everything we do. We don't do anything until someone pays us.
Yep.
Like we just don't. And it's so ingrained in our team now. Like, we'll just launch something. And here's what it also does. During the marketplace where we ask you to go out and get 10 no's, it's like that. Like if we launch something and not a lot of people like are attracted to it, we just say, well, that was interesting. And you put it aside and you go on to another thing. So you don't have this weird failure energy around yourself. Some of you build something, you start doing something and no one wants it. And then you just sit and pout in your failure. Like, oh, it didn't work. Nobody likes me. Nobody wants my stuff. No, they don't. So just get over it. The market will tell you what they want. So really be clear. I know I'm on the slide for a long time. But again, you're going to fail due to the lack of sequencing. And we really want you to say yes and figure out how and figure out who knows how. Inside our community, we have such rich skill set of clients. Like you all should be using each other more and resourcing each other and joint venturing to each other. You guys could be doing summits together. I look out here amongst those who are affiliates. I mean, Dr. Stacy did her own summit. I've been on her summits. You guys can do your own summits. I mean, some of you, I'm going to challenge you to do your summits, and then you can have me back as your guest to then sell my stuff to your affiliates. Now you get your 10 affiliates per event. And then once we have a great recording, like Dr. Stacy and I have a few really good recordings, she can replay them over and over and over to her list. She gets new people and continues to get people in the system. So you all have that capacity, or, I'd say offer to do that. So really be clear on the action you're doing. Like we're going to draw out your calendar. We're going to keep over and over and over asking you, do you have a revenue producing day? And there's only one scorecard that's going to answer it is, are you getting more leads, getting more sales, building a database, and growing in the infrastructure of your business? So really important you start connecting those dots. And so what we're going to do is go to the next slide, Steve. We're going to have you share your commitments. We really want you to be out loud. We have thousands of people over there. Our goal is to run ads to this group and grow our group. So we have a huge commitment of, in the next 21 days, to bring thousands more people into our Millionaires in Training Facebook group. So we want you to share your commitments over there. So the way you would do it is you're going to say your name and where you're from, right? So I'm Dr. Stacy, I'm from Toronto, Canada. And my commitment is, and again, be specific, measurable, achievable, very realistic, and have a time frame to it. So be very specific. We have a team that will be working our Facebook group. And as your commitment is accepted, we will put you in. We will give you feedback if it's not a commitment, it's just a comment. And so our goal is to coach you to get a real commitment. So then, in the next 21 days, we want tons of your commitments loaded up in our Facebook group, and encouraging other people that haven't seen the broadcast to share their commitments. Because then we're in a conversation of really sharing. And then here's what I would do if I was you. If I see a commitment, and so let's say Tamar puts out a great commitment and there's a possible joint venture and alignment, guess what? You're going to use our Millionaires in Training group, and you're going to say, hey, Tamar, let's jump on a phone. And maybe you and Jay jump on a phone, or you and Ava jump on the phone. So it's not just about joining the group. It's now let's interact. Let's be the most active group in the next 21 days and jam out there. Let's get everybody connected, get your commitments, know what other people really want. So 2021, you feel like you have, you know, I'm going to say support group, but you've got a team behind you that is going to help you get this commitment. And in our coaching, because we're very accountable to it, is we're not going to get off of your commitment until you say, okay, I can change my mind. So changing your mind isn't just something you do, you know, casually and say, yeah, I said I was going to make money, but it's just too much work. I'm not going to do it. Bullshit. You think I'm going to let you do that to yourself? That ain't going to happen. We're going to get right in there, coach you. Again, why we want you in fast cash. Fast cash is like what I call just a standard, where it needs to be 3 hours a week. At least you'll go 1 hour a week. It's every Monday at 4, Wednesday at 4, and on Thursday at noon. And it's a place where you get to keep working on your commitment, work on your action, get back to our marketplace. And if you haven't gone to our marketplace, my gosh, I mean, you will make money. I teach for 8 hours and we do a marketplace for 8 hours. And it's a 16-hour course. You work through the weekend. We complete it on a Monday, wrap it up, tally it, and see who made money. Actually, I'd like to know how many of you out there have already been and how much money did you make? And actually, for some of you, you came early on. You came in April or May. So I'd like a new number saying, like Dr. Stacy, a Jay, some of you were around way back in the day, Eileen. How much more money do you think you made because you were in our marketplace early? So how much money did you make and how much more money do you think you've made since? Because I know some of you have leaped in your revenue because you came to our marketplace early in 2020. How much money did you all make? Let's share. Get excited, celebrate each other.
I know just from some of the winners that we had this year, several people actually made over $10,000. Had I think 3 or 4 people won the event with over $10,000 is made. So it is a real event. It is something that people can have that opportunity to, you know, test out that new business idea, quit that job, and get on to doing what they really want to do. So Eileen, awesome, $10,000. We had a number of people out there who did that here.
Yep. Come on, Dr. Stacy, give it up. I bet you've made at least 20, 30, 40,000. I bet you have too.
She has to do a lot of adding work right now.
Yeah, she's on a calculator going, so much I can't track. Yep. But then with your connections, Jay, come back on the graduate and make more money. So it's just, remember, the marketplace is always, always, always open. Yep, you need to step up your game because you didn't break 100.
Yep, there's Dr. Stacy, $7,890. Sorry there.
You know, and some of you, you're just new to it. So you're going to come back and keep practicing.
Right. One thing I want to talk about real quick, Laurel, is that we talked about earlier is like if you get that no from the Ask Tell Ask, that's not a rejection of you as a person. The information you get from that is just a go or no go, right? Is this a go? People are interested. Awesome. Move forward. If it's a no go, fine. Move on to the next idea and, you know, move on from there. You know, the Laurel says there, you know, literally money is all over the place. You just don't know how to see it and how to get it yet.
Yep. All right. So again, action number 1, because we're going to send out an email. Action number 1 is if you haven't joined Millionaires Are Training, go join. And then action number 2, ready? Let's go to the next slide, is our first contest. We are launching, again, our New Year, New You 2021. And we are giving away, are you seeing that number on the screen? Over $10,000, almost $11,000 of gifts, prizes, education is going to be given away. So there's a website. It's called New Year, New You 2021. And it's a social sharing contest. So we have never done this before. Again, team Great Minds made it up. And here's how it works. You're going to go to this site. You're going to fill out the form. So go to right now, fill out the form and enter. And here's the prizes that we're going to be giving away. I don't believe there's a slide on this, right, Steve? I think I'll read them off, right? I'm going to read them off.
Correct.
Yeah, by the way, you're right. The slide says 100,000. So $110,936 of social sharing contest. We're going to be giving that away. So here's what we're giving away. And if you are already in one of these programs, then and you win, then we'll negotiate something else. We're giving 2 full 100K challenge programs valued at $15,000 away. 2 of you are going to win a 100K program because we're going to get both of you 2 making 100 grand. We're going to give 4 expert money makeovers. So we don't do those. And, you know, even if you're my client, it's pretty rough to get one of those. We're giving 10 fast cash lifetime programs away. We're giving 2 real estate tour tickets valued at $1,000 for 2. So it's 2 for 2, giving 5 of those away. And by the way, we are going to be in March in Reno and June in Boise. We do have 2 tours set right now, already on the books. We're giving 10 Building Your Wealth Cycles 21-day wealth cycle plans. So that is me for hours walking you through thoroughly how to build your business or your wealth plan. And then the business plan, which is 14 days. And really the way you do those is concurrently. And those of you in the big table, you'll learn more about that tomorrow, where you do 21 days of wealth building inside of that 14 days of business building, because your business is one of the biggest assets of your wealth plan. That's how that goes together. I don't know if a lot of you have connected the dots. Your wealth plan is the big plan. The business plan is inside the wealth plan. We're going to give $1,000 of Laurel bucks. So that's, you can apply anywhere you want. We're giving 10 of those. So just $10,000 away. And then $100,000 blueprint modules. So of the blueprint, I'm above the 100K. Steve and I, we recorded and laid out 39 modules of exactly how to make 100 grand. So if you don't want to coach and you just want the modules in the blueprint, we're giving 10 of those away. So tons and tons of stuff. This is what this page looks like. So go to the page, sign up and register. So here's how the social sharing works. You're going to enter and you're going to get 1 ticket. Now, you're going to go out to your social network and you're going to get your people to come enter. For every 1 person you get to enter our contest, you get 10 more entries. So now you get 1 person to enter, you get 11. You get 10 people to enter, right? Then you will have over 100. You get 100 of your followers to come in, you have over 1,000 chances to win. So think of the entries like little, tickets, little raffle tickets. So you want to have as many chances to win that stuff as you can. And it's a social sharing contest. Even better, when you register, you'll have a unique code. That unique code will also be treated as an affiliate code. So as your people come into our world, social sharing, and join this contest, you also, as they continue to buy stuff, will be treated as an affiliate. So we have layered this thing up. There is not one excuse in the world. You can say, well, if I bring 100 people, because I knew that'd be some of your really smart first questions is, do I get the affiliate money if they finally like 1 point go buy the table or anything else? Yes is the answer. So we're going to take your unique code from this social sharing, marry it up to your affiliate code. And yes, we will track your people for you. And our goal is to build a huge list, a huge social sharing platform. We want everybody in the Millionaires in Training group. We want to grow that. I want thousands and thousands of people in 2021, new people saying, I want to become a millionaire. I want to learn to make money and I want to be in the marketplace. So our goal is to give you a vehicle to help us build, more people and help you make more money. Thomas, anything you want to add to that? Steve, you want to add to that? We're excited about it. I'm super excited about this contest.
Yeah, this is probably the most advanced and the most in-depth we've ever done with this contest. I've been a part of New Year, New You now for, I think, 6 years. And I don't know that we've given away this much in prizes, and I don't know that we've made it this easy to participate. So I'm really excited to see everyone, take a part and starting their transition between 2020 and 2021 the right way.
Yep. So if you have any questions, Thomas will be here and announcing. But again, bring us people, like just share it. There'll be a link. It's very clear. It's super laid out. Thomas, do you want to put your you and Andrew's maybe email in here and then if there's something like you don't understand it, you're not very technical, that way you can, enter, you get your code, how you use your code, and then how you go out and post all over social channels. But your people, you just can't post. They have to come and enter this contest, and then you get 10 tickets. So every 1 person gets you 10 more chances to win that big prize list. And if you already have all of that, which I don't think any of you have at all, we can always negotiate for what you win, because I know that's going to be another question that comes up. So again, if you have affiliates, how to use the contest, just email Thomas and we'll get that done for you. And again, to go to the next slide, our goal is to grow our Millionaires in Training. And remember, the more people out there for us is also out there for you, because we let you ask inside our group. We're probably the only community where we want you to make money inside our community. We don't want you to say, well, you can't post your stuff and go make money. We want you making money. I mean, when you're successful, we're successful, because that is our result for you, is to make cash. All right, so super excited about that. Now let's go to some setups for January 5th. So on January 5th, we're going to go through these 8 areas of life. So let's go to the next slide. Some of you have seen this, but I think it's pivotal. I make my kids go through this. I mean, since they were 2 and 3, made my husband, when I made him go through this, I make his family go through it, my family go through it. But I think it's really important that I know we teach money, and all you hear from me is money, 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 because that's what I teach. But there is a broader sense of life. So let's go ahead and put these 8 keys up to success and I don't call it a balanced life. Balance, the way that I was taught, is like a scale. So if you take a scale and you balance, you're actually static. So I actually don't not only like that word, I hate that word. So here's a new phrase I want you to adopt. I want you to have life the way you want it. I want you to design it the way you want it. You could have it any way you want. And so you're never going to have balance. Like, balance would mean that all of these would have some level of equality. And for many of you, they don't. Like, there's a whole values subset of activity that goes behind this. Of who are you? What are your core values in life? And your core values drive actually the priority of these areas of your life. And I studied not only personal development, I was a leader, a 10-day women's leadership trainer and size seminars. I've been to the forum. I've been to, you name the leadership class, I've been to it, if not taught it. So this was like my prior life, or my life, in the early Kiyosaki world, transitioning from Chevron. I did a lot of this work. I did a lot of key executive work. And these are just critical. A lot of you, if you don't know what your values are and you don't really design your life in these categories, and if you want other categories, you can add them. I just know, like, in most, from Tony Robbins to anybody who does personal development work, these are the areas. So there's money, which is the one I teach. And notice I separate money from your career and business. To me, this is your personal development, right? So what are the areas of your development do you need, right? That's different than money. A lot of people, because your job is your money, you put those together as one. That is not the truth. Because as you make money in your career and business, your money also is your investments. It's your legacy. It's, gifting your kids. By the way, this year you can gift your kids $12,000 each, right? Huge. There's a lot of stuff we got to do by the end of the year. Your health, got to pay attention to that. Your spirituality, your family, your significant relationship. Now, a lot of people sometimes put those together. I separate them, been trained to separate them by many people because it is critical. Your family can also be your extended family. Your significant relationship needs, some importance by itself. Physical environment, it's one that I pay a lot of attention to. It's your house, it's your office, it's your car, it's your physical surroundings. It's that mountain that I always look whenever you guys see me looking that way, right? By the way, that are the Sierra Mountains right out here in Lake Tahoe, Nevada. So water and mountains is a huge part of my physical environment that I love. That's why I love to ski. Like, knowing that about yourself, especially in a state of 2020. If you're in one of those states, God forbid you're in one of those states that are in severe lockdown, then get the hell outside. Like, do something, music, whatever. Notice what physical environment will do for your mental and emotional and physical state. It's critical that you know that about yourself. And then fun and friends. All right, so there's a whole process in January I'm going to take you through. So just take a quick snapshot. And all you really need to do now is just notice on a scale of 1 to 10. Right? 1 meaning you're really like low, like how are you in money right now today? So you could actually date this. That's one thing you could do and say, all right, on December 15th today, where am I with my money, my career, my health, my spirituality? Like, give yourself a score. And then as we head into January, I'm going to have you do it again, and I'll get a little more sophisticated in depth how we're going to teach this. And this is what you want to set commitments to. Your commitments don't have to be in our world, even though we're all money. Like, share all these commitments in our Millionaires in Training group. Like, what is your spiritual work, right? And the whole next activity to this is, if say your health is a 4 right now because you got a little COVID coma and you laid on the couch too much. So say you're like a 3 or a 4. So what are you going to do? What is the action that's going to create a result to get your health to a 10 or an 8? Like, give yourself a baseline score as we end 2020, and then in 2021 January, we're gonna set that commitment. Then we're gonna go into an action plan of saying, now what am I gonna do to get there? And you're not gonna have 19,000 things per thing. You're only gonna have, like, what are your top 2 or 3 things in money? And I better be your mentor, and you better come to our calls, and you better have one of our coaches. Better be those 3. No agenda with that. And then we're going to get more specific as you are. In like those of you in the big table, you can imagine we're taking this to a whole nother level tomorrow in the big table course. What is the personal development you need? Like, what do you need? And I would say right now, if this is our new way of talking and learning, and maybe I should do another course like that. I used to teach selling from the stage. I did some of that work with Dr. Stacey, actually. That was one of her first. Before she went to the table, she hired me personally to do the selling from the stage and how to do that. And I know there's a lot of people who do it, but last I checked, I have some of the best closing ratios in the world. So some of you need to learn to close on Zoom. So maybe I'm going to write that down. That'd be a good thing to do in 2021. You can still see we're kind of making up some stuff that we're going to be doing. Closing. How many of you would come if I made up that class?
And you know what, Laurel, now that we're making that up, let's just add a layer on that. Let's show how we do that as part of the process.
Yeah. There's a system to what we do. Right? How to do Zoom closings, right? Like, how do you close a summit, right? And honestly, Aaron, who we just talked to, and I know Dr. Stacey, we've done a lot of coaching on it, are coaching you how to do a summit for profit. There's a lot of people doing summits. Like, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for some of these people, and who the hell's mentoring them? Like, we would never tell you to do some of the weird things they're telling you to do, because they're not going to make you money. It's going to cost you a lot of money, and you're not going to make the money. I mean, we just cracked the code on how to get this done, and thank God I already knew how to close. But I can tell you myself, like, learning to close on a Zoom is very different than what I do from the stage, because I can't get down in the audience with you. I can't get you standing up and like touching, literally physically touching you and then getting you to sell your damn whatever your item is. I can't get money running around a room out here like I can in a room. So it was a transition and different. So I think I could make that one up pretty easy if you want to do that, because there is a system to it. It's not just because I'm Laurel. There's a process to it. So I love that as another thing. You can tell we're making up stuff for 2021 because, normally we just go out and do more stages, but we're not going to be doing that. And by the way, I won't do it. If the stages come back alive, I did get my transition home. It just didn't look like I thought it was going to look.
It just took a pandemic.
I have gone to more of my son's football games and having more fun. Oh, I have to brag. They're playing in the Superdome next Wednesday. I cannot wait. So we're off to New Orleans. I'll be doing next Tuesday's broadcast from New Orleans. Cannot wait. And maybe I'll have the Superdome behind me. So super excited because I got that transition in my life. So seriously, like, go through this and score yourself today. So what is your 12-15 score? And then we're going to give you a Jan 5 score with some actions and what you will need to be doing to make this a commitment with timelines throughout 2021. So if you want to lose weight, don't say you're going to do it like in 20 days or 10, like, what's the reality? And you can't do it all at once. So you're not going to attack all of these things at once. So if you want to meet your soulmate, well, what's more important? Are you going to lose weight than meet your soulmate? Are you going to like fix some family stuff and then meet your soulmate? Like, what's the sequence of all these commitments? Because sometimes when you do this, and I don't think enough people teach it, if you don't spread it out and sequence it, you try to do everything at once and then you feel super unsuccessful and you feel like a failure. And so you quit everything. And some of you notice that that's been a self-fulfilling prophecy. So then you get to keep telling yourself you're a failure, and that's bullshit. You're not a failure. You just have no process to make yourself more successful. And you also have no forgiveness about saying, you know what? I just changed my mind. I don't want to do that anymore. Now we're going to have a little chat before you just get to throw it on the floor. Because I want to make sure that you're doing it from a very conscious state, not an emotional state. But this is really important. I think this is the most important stuff we're doing. And then we're going to do your sequence. All right. Then next slide, we're going to get a new team, and we are going to be your team. These are all the conversations we teach about money and more. These are just our core. And so whatever level you are at in our community, you have some access. Even at Fast Cash, you have more access as a acceleration coaching client, to a 100K client, to a big table, to a head of the table. So this team is critical for you. And again, I want you to set a goal of who are you adding in addition to Laurel and our team, but specifically, who do you know you need to add to your team? Do you need Eileen because she's got to increase your credit? Do you need Scott to get your corporate structure fixed? Do you need to get a will and trust done? Do you need to like get into crypto? Because like a lot of you missed that big run. And I don't know that it's going to come off its mark, but you know what? There'll be another mark. And I know so many people, and you know too, Thomas, because we're coaching so many people, you're standing still not getting into digital currency because you're going like, damn, I missed it. Well, you missed that run, but you know what? I assume there's going to be another. And at some point, you're going to have to use it as a currency to transact life. So you're going to have to like take the leap. So we're going to put that course in as fast as we can in 2021 to help you. But just, you know, again, a lot of you've seen the screen before. We always come back to it. What's one or two things in 2021 on your wealth side, specifically money side, you have to learn about? You've got to get it in your life next year. So obviously, you know, we're taking the lead in that agenda of the money side of what your actions are, is what's, you know, the conversations and actions you need. I'm making notes. So okay, now off to one more big set of content. And Thomas, if you'd like to support, put in like, again, if people are joining later, like is put in our affiliate information, the NY 2021, like where you get into our social contest so you can win a bunch of this stuff. So don't say you can't afford it. Some of you, I know you've wanted that 100K. Well, now you have an opportunity. Be an affiliate, go out social share. And the other thing on social sharing, go join other groups. I mean, you can't be kind of a scavenger out there, but join other groups and just, you know, get excited about 2021. Share our new year, new you, and then get people to follow you and then bring them over to us. Like there's a way we'll continue to help and support you to do that. One big thing though I want to get to is I want to complete 2020. So if you want to slip to the next slide, I have 3 techniques that I teach always. So if we can go to the next one. So this one is really important. As you look at those 8 areas of your life, another activity we're going to have you look at is what do you need to start doing, stop doing, and continue doing. So this helps you build your action plan into those 8 areas. So for example, you're going to look at money. What do you need to start doing today that you haven't done already? What do you need to stop doing? Some of you just do odd things, right? And then what do you need to continue to do? So you can imagine having those 8 areas of your life up over here, right? And then you gave yourself a score. And you're looking at, well, what do I want to do? And we're not deciding right now. Right now, we have 21 days of just processing it, being in a conversation, go to Fast Cash, come to the big table, come back next Tuesday. Just be in this conversation over the next 21 days and let us together complete 2020 and then put a big bow on it and put it to bed or into a cemetery or do whatever you want to do with it, 2020. And then 2021, let's set it, you know, given the variables. And so it makes it super successful. So this is a big part of the next actions within your plan. What are you going to start doing? What are you going to stop doing? What are you going to continue to do in those 8 areas? So you can see we're going to be building out a process for how do you just put it to bed, but also take the good and you move it forward into 2021. So I've been doing starts, stops, and continues. And you can do this in a lot of areas of your life. In fact, I got a lot of our team watching. Like you should do it at the end of a day. Like at the end of your day, you think, well, did I have the revenue producing day that I wanted? What do I need to stop doing? Here's what I'm gonna tell a lot of you got to stop doing. If you're working at home, you need to stop all the distractions, walking by your laundry room, walking by your refrigerator. You need to get really clear what it's like to work at home for those of you that haven't been in to do that. And then I'm just not a fan of it. I love the whole team environment. So how do you get a team? How do you work in a more efficient way? And I think there's a lot of starts and stops in your work behavior, your discipline behavior. A lot of you need to put into play. Right? I think a lot of you, you're okay affiliates. You're not great affiliates yet because you haven't put in the time. You haven't put in time to make the money. You haven't put in your ass till ass. You haven't practiced. So really think this through. And again, right now we're just teeing all this up for you. We're not going to decide it all today. We have the next couple of weeks, and then the January 5th, we're going to put a bow and a big old plan together. So plan on a couple hours on Jan 5, because that is much more. We're going to like dig in. Now, a next section, and this is what I learned from Bob Proctor's Goal Achiever course, which I just love, is how to set some goals. Right, so now you have your 8 areas. So go ahead and move the next slide, Steve. You have your 8 areas. You have some starts, stops, and continues. Now you say, of all the things of the 8 areas, right? So say you have 8 areas of life and you have 3 things you want to change in each. Well, that's like a lot of stuff to do. That's like 24 things. Like that's a lot to do. So then you use this to prioritize and help sequence. You say, what are my A goals, B goals, and C goals? So A is like the no kidding. It has to happen in my life. And so you're looking at all the areas, right? Now, kind of envision like a big whiteboard is probably the easiest way to do it. All the 8 areas of your life, the things you're going to start, stop, and continue. So what is the actions in each area? Now we're going to put them into some priority. So A goals is like what's the top thing you have to do. That makes sense, right? So what are your A's? Your B's are obviously secondarily, and your C's, if they don't happen, it's still okay. You're going to have a great year, right? So I really want to identify out of those 24, 30 things, whatever that number comes up to for you. Now, if you're getting into the 40s and 50s and 60s of things to do, it's way too many things. You're going to have to really narrow. What are the top things with money you got to do? What are the top things in your family, your significant relationship, your health? And then put them in some priority. And then we're going to come back and we're going to be looking at this. So again, we're going to be replaying this out. So those of you that are going, oh my gosh, there's a lot to do. It's kind of a cool process. And, since some of you are in lockdowns, I got to stay home, like get serious about completing and then moving only the good stuff into 2021. And then again, technique 3, which you will hear from us over and over and over, is the gap analysis. And so the gap analysis is an overall gap plan. So if you put that up, Steve, the next slide. And again, like this is the, what did you accomplish in general? And again, this is with Money With Us in 2020. What did you really get done? And then what do you want? So again, you're just filling in the gaps differently. But then for us, this is where our coaching comes in and says, all right, let's fix your income and let's fix your assets. Let's fix your money rules. And for a lot of you, writing down your money rules and actually really owning your money rules in 2021 would be really important. One of, top priorities to do. So as things come about, you have decided. Remember in my marketing class, in the marketplace, I talk a lot about being decided and deciding. A lot of you, you have never decided. You're just in a complete state, an ongoing state of indecision, saying, I have decided 2021 is going to look like that, versus I'm still, thinking about it. Thinking about it is deciding. You're still indecisive. So I think that's just critical that this helps nail that. And if you need a call with one of our strategists, we are open to all of that. So Thomas, if you want to put our office line, which is 775-588-9200. Again, 775-588-9200. Michelle answers the phone. And depending on what level of client you are, she will get you either back to a strategist or onto a new strategist. So these are really critical for us because we want to know in the context of the 8 areas, what are you going to do, where your priority is. Then let's get really specific where we come back into your life and focus 2021. And all of you better have a 6-figure year in there. Like it's so critical that you have a 6-figure year. And part of reinforcing this is being in our system on a regular basis. I think a lot of you here are on Tuesdays, and you're here on Tuesday at noon with us, and you're in our Millionaires in Training, but we really want you at the next level. The next level is Fast Cash Coaching. Again, it's 3 hours. You get Steve and Thomas, you get tons and tons of support. You get tons of affiliate support, and you get to come back to our graduate marketplace. So as we looked at 2021, we just put this package together and we said, what, if we had our goal for you at minimum, what's the minimum commitment we would expect from all of you in 2021? It would be this. So let's show it to them, guys. This is our new cool thing. It's not new. It's the package that's new on what we want you to do in 2021 with us. All right, so go ahead and put up the next slide. It's Fast Cash, and here's the big one, which is super fun, is a lifetime, it's a graduate marketplace. All right, so go ahead and put up first a couple of the bullet points. So Fast Cash, all right, Fast Cash for life means every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you will going to a live call. So you get all the library, you get a live call, you work on your marketing, you work on your funnel, you work on your pricing, and you work on your Ask Tell Ask. 3 hours a week. So there is no way, if you're doing this 3 times a week, even if you get really, really good at it, you still can come back 3 times a week. So last I checked, 3 times a week times 4, that's 12 hours a month of live help. Like you got to be sleeping to not be able to get that done and make some money. So when you set a big audacious goal for 2021 that you want to make 10, 15, 20,000 a month, then to us, as we talked about it, we spent a lot of times yesterday talking like, what is the base thing you have to do? Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, I'm already in the 100K or I'm already in a big table and already have that, but you don't have the next thing. The next thing is the graduate marketplace. So we're going to do 24 marketplaces in 2021, 24. And guess what? That's live. That's not recorded. I know a lot of my colleagues who criticize, they say, Laurel, you spend so much time. Why do you go live? And I said, because every group's different. If I pre-record, I can't talk to you. I can't talk to Pamela. I can't talk to Paige. I can't talk to Ava. I can't talk to you specifically and then coach you on the spot. So I come live because I actually enjoy it and I need you moving accurately. So now, so what we're going to do is, if you want, you can buy the Graduate Marketplace one by one. So you can buy 24 of them. It's $47 per time. And that will be our standing offer. I know we moved it around a lot. We let you come for free sometimes. If you gave us a testimonial, we let you come for free. As we were kind of making up 2020, this thing moved around. We'll totally admit we moved it around. But we put these together because here, think about your month, how cool we want to be in your month in 2021. You got 3 hours of coaching a week, and then twice a month, you get a Graduate Marketplace, which means like this Friday, if you've already attended the marketplace, from 3 to 6 on Friday, you get to come back. And then from 10 to 3 on Saturday, you come back. So 8 hours at an event, you get to come back and sell your stuff. That's 16 hours of selling, folks. And as we grow this community and you help our social sharing, if you see how we just put all this together and stacked it, you're going to help our social sharing. You're going to become an affiliate. We're going to grow a huge network. Everybody's going to be making money. And we want hundreds of people at our Graduate Marketplace twice a month. Like, I want to be, I'd rather have you come here. And, I always have to make fun of Bezos and say, he takes so much of your money in the Amazon Marketplace, like, be an artist and keep 100%. So Thomas, what would you say about this package? I love the package. And if you're in the big table, yes, you still have to go get it. And yes, you already have fast cash, but I can tell you the value of a Graduate Marketplace, that's 24 Graduate Marketplaces. I'm going to add that up. 24 times 8 hours per marketplace. You're buying 192 hours of selling time on us. So last I checked, you divide that by $3.99. Yeah, that's 48 cents.
An hour.
48 cents an hour. So it's insane value. So what would you say about that?
What I love about this, being involved in both those programs, is the perfect combination of giving you an actual venue to do what it is you need to do those ask tell ask, to connect with other people, to sell. But then it also gives you the other side of that, where if you're needing help, if you need to bounce ideas off, or if you need to grow upon what it is you're doing, you get that coaching, you get that community, you get that weekly session to work upon that. So it's kind of like that idea of, like, you have the locker room in the field, right? You play, you leave it all out on the field, and then when you're done, you come back into the locker room, review the tape, figure out what happened, see what you can do better, get that coaching, and then get back out there. And this is intense. I mean, this is going to be great. 2021 is going to be a great year for a lot of people taking advantage of this, because we're giving you so much time and so many opportunities to connect with one another and sell. That this is I love what the slide here says. It's insane. Not only is the value insane, but the amount of time and opportunity we're giving to everyone here is insane.
Well, again, each marketplace hour is 48 cents. Right. If you go to each marketplace and you spend the 8 hours out there, and as long as we keep bringing you new people, like, you can't even buy a database for that. So you're going to basically build your database on our database of a graduate base. So here's what I want to say. If you have already gone to the marketplace, you better be zooming over here and buying this, because then that just confirms you for the rest of the year in the Graduate Marketplace. And here's the thing. And some of you said, I think Tamara, you said it, a few of you said, well, I haven't made a lot of money in your first marketplace. I know. So this hinges it together. Like Thomas said, you're going to come back and get coaching and say, I only made like 40 or 50 bucks. Then you have 3 hours. Actually, you have 3 or 5 hours before the next marketplace to go again. And you're going to get some coaching. You're going to get some practice. You're going to get it ready. So then you go again, the next marketplace. This discipline, and I want you to put it in your calendar. We're going to be sharing our calendar through at least Q like 1 and 2, so you can lock out your Graduate Marketplaces. Make it part of your revenue producing day. Expect on every other Friday that you're going to come to that marketplace and you're going to make money. It's part of your revenue model. It's part of your funnel, is you got to come to the marketplace and make money. Like, you got to be insane. Now, if you've never been to a marketplace, I want to say this though, if you've never been to a marketplace, if you are willing to come this Thursday and Friday, we'll gift you a ticket to get caught up. We'll gift it to you. So you're going to get a ticket. That's a bonus that's not even on the slide. It's not on the page. We'll gift you a ticket. You call our office and say 775-588-9200, or we'll know, because you're going to go buy this. So you'll buy this as the future going forward, but get into our marketplace this Thursday and Friday, gift on us to get you caught up. Now you've done a marketplace. Now you know the tools and techniques. Then you have this all of 2021 to rely on as a place. I mean, if you're not making money and we give you this much help, you don't really want to. That's really, I got to go that far and say, you don't want to. You're either uncoachable, you don't want to make money, but there's no way you're going to have this much help and then go sell in a marketplace. This much helps sell in a marketplace. This is part of your calendar of 2021.
And one of the things I want to bring up, because I know on the Thursday call that I help lead, we actually do model ask, tell, ask sessions now, right? So we do that practice of what it will look like when you're in the marketplace running that live. But we talk about, your offers. We talk about your funnel. We talk about your marketing. We talk about all those important pieces that come down to you having a conversation and you making money. Right. So it's very important to understand that Fast Cash Coaching is a great venue for those of you who may not be seeing the success you want to see in that marketplace, but also you need to take that same step. And I think Steve is there. I know Steve leads the other Monday and Wednesday calls. I'd love to have him hop on and talk about what he covers as well too, because again, the two of these coaching call sessions and these marketplace sessions are an awesome complement together and really give you everything you need to become successful selling your product, your services.
Yeah,
Steve, you want to add in there?
Yeah, well, go ahead and put up the link, Steve. And Ava says, is that the $97 program? Yes. So if you already have a ticket, you bought a ticket from another summit, then you use it, but you're getting another one. In fact, we'll just gift everyone another one. Why? Because I want you to give it away. Like, this is the pay it forward time of year. Like, help other people do it. So no, you can't refund your 97 if you've just bought it and you're attending this week. You cannot do that because, again, the way summits work will tell you is typically the person who hosted the summit collects the money. So that's going to be a rough deal, like to go back and get a refund because we're bonusing. So I'm going to say we're bonusing another ticket for those of you that want it or need it or want to send a family member for Christmas. I have so many gifts going out on this marketplace for the 17th and 18th. But notice we want it done on 17th, 18th. So this is your next year. So Fast Cash starts with us on January 4th, on January 6th, on January 7th. You're just going to start Fast Cash. Then you're going to graduate marketplace. Then you're going to Fast Cash, graduate marketplace. We're going to be in your calendar darn near every day because we want, until you learn to make money every day, I don't know how you could say no. So this is our lifetime offer. I mean, if you bought 25 years of Fast Cash and marketplace, there's your number right there. It's a $60,000 offer if you bought it independently. We threw it up online for 2,500 because we didn't know what number to even put on it. And we just said, you know what, we want everybody here. Like the biggest thing I've handled for 20 years, and it's the biggest, issue in coaching is I don't have enough cash flow. I don't know how to make money. Like this solves it. Like a lot of 2020 for us in a lot of ways, it solved this online and worldwide. Now we have this ability to be everywhere in the world. And there's just no way you can't do this. So yes, even if you're in Big Table, you need to do this because this handles your whole graduate marketplace for 2021. We don't have to bring it up again. We don't have to market you again. We don't have to confirm you again. You're just going to put it in your darn calendar and going to do it. One last piece I want to throw in the big bonus though, which you buy now is because I really want you ready for January 5th. And we brought out and dusted off what I call a reading room. When I launched my books, I did 8 hours of very powerful, like 7-figure business planning with the reading room, a cash machine. The cash machine is a world-class book on how to build these businesses. So you have Fast Cash, you have Graduate Marketplace, and now you've got me literally reading the book to you, not exactly reading the chapters, but how to interpret it, how to apply it. You put all this together, you better have well into 6-figure year. And I expect to see a lot of 6-figure commitments and a lot of money being made in 2021. There's no way, unless you're sleeping, with this offer, you cannot do it. And a lot of you probably, I don't even think the reading room has been, I don't think it's been on the store. Like we kind of, like I said, we literally pulled it out and dusted it off and said, what could be a big bonus? And it's $800 bonus. And so you can go get it for $800 if you want, but you get that now. So buy all of that, $399. And back to you, Steve, if you want to cover, what do you cover in Fast Cash? Why come?
Hey, everybody. Well, the biggest thing I could probably say for Fast Cash coaching is it's a lot of the connect the dots conversation. So you hear from almost every single guru, everything and anything that you need to do to get your marketing right, to get your lead generation right. But the focus does not center around having a revenue producing day. And that's what we focus on Fast Cash coaching. So how do you do that? What do you do every single day, creating activities that are going to get you to making some money that day, that night, that weekend? That's really what it is. I mean, everything else is just going to be a stack of other items to, for the lack of a better word, shift your focus to not make any money that day. So that's really where we're at.
Yep. So there's the link. We're going to leave it up in a little summary of where we are. You have a lot to do. And this is a setup of a 21-day really process, not even a program, that we want to start shifting your revenue producing day. So yes, we are still through next week doing fast cash calls, through the next week, fast cash calls. And then through the next week, our next marketplace after this Thursday and Friday, 17th and 18th of December, is January 7th and 8th. So we will see you back then. That'll be your first graduate marketplace. So if you haven't attended, you're going to attend now. And then you'll attend back on the 8th. I want you to notice you're thinking right now, some of you are going, this is so much time. It's a huge time commitment. Isn't making money a high priority for you and your family? I mean, you're either going to go figure out how to stay on unemployment, get some stimulus package, and then when that runs out, you still don't have the skills to make money. Like, excuse me, this is like skills for a lifetime. And there's no way you can be in a marketplace and not make money when you have this much coaching in between marketplaces. So the goal would be to start learning. I mean, I'd love to see you make 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 in a marketplace, every marketplace. You take that times, if all you made was $1,000 at our marketplace, you're making $24,000 inside our marketplace, and it's all your money. Like, you got to be insane. So I just want to qualify. If you're in 100K, our big table, yes, you have fast cash. What you don't have is a year of graduate and the bonuses on the reading room. So I wanted to stack that up to provide huge value to all of you. And no matter where you are, I know some of you were just in our last marketplace and you didn't do anything. So this is what you're going to do. We haven't offered this ever before. Yes, we will put this recording over in Facebook. You want the share contest is until January 5th. So on January 5th at 12 noon, during that 2-hour call, we will be selecting the winners of the $110,000 bonuses and gifts. So we'll be selecting everybody during then. So you have 21 days. So if you bring us, 10 people a day for 21 days, you got over 2,000 tickets. So you have a lot of opportunity, and all those people are affiliates of yours. So as our team, which we have a system, we have Keep, we have a system through moving people through our funnels, you will make additional affiliate residual revenue on you. The other thing we have in the backdrop is called Wildcard Shuffle. It's super fun. That's just a fun thing. Whole bunch of bonuses, and every day you're going to basically do a drawing, and you're going to get something out of our shuffle. And there's all sorts of fun things. So the shuffle is just something to do every day to keep you fun and excited and in our world. And yes, the millionaires in training, Steve and Thomas make sure it's really prominent where the Wildcard Shuffle is, where the share contest is, where we want to see their commitments. And let's rock it together. 2021, we want to be the community that you make the most money in, and then you go out and share your big gift to the world. You guys don't seem very excited. I'm not seeing any like, yay, I love this in the chat. So how many of you love this? Are you kidding? Like, we don't have to worry about, oh, are you going to go to marketplace? Are you going to graduate marketplace? This is like a system. This is just a great little system. We worked, several hours on this yesterday. Like, this will be kind of what we call our infrastructure for if you don't know what to do, you do this. And this keeps you engaged. It keeps you getting disciplined. A lot of you, I would say the reason you're not making money is first of all, you're out of sequence because you're not doing the right things. And then you just aren't persistent enough to make it happen and just stay in there until it clicks. Then you make money, and then it's game over. And then when we give you the How to Close on Zoom call, now you can go take all your amazing skills and go get on other people's Zooms and go make money out there, because now you're going to learn how to do an ask to last. So it's just a process. So we know this is going to be an amazing build. So go get it right now. Go get askloral.com/lifetime. And you will have this, and this handles 2021 in a lot of ways for a lot of you. Yes, it's lifetime. So we're going forever and ever. Question, will the marketplace always be virtual with this offer? Yes, I think that's the question. And here's what I also say is, if and as we come out live, here's what I think would be fun, which I'll throw out there, but I'm not going to promise it because we've got to see how things are. Some of you can't travel to us, or it's rough to travel. I think it'd be really cool in Q3, as our book launches with McGraw-Hill. I think it'd be really fun to bring hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you all back together live for a marketplace in a massive ballroom. I think that would be freaking awesome. All right, wouldn't that be fun? To everybody bring your stuff, bring your pre-orders of your books, or maybe you already launched your book because you already got that through our graduate marketplace. Bring your kids, and we have a huge family event. Everybody's selling everybody and just having one hell of a fun time. And feeling super successful. So that is something we've talked about, but we got to get a little more open because I don't want to go get a ballroom that I can only put 25 or 50 people in. I want to do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And I think we could all show up somewhere amazing. Oh, how funny you'll be at Burning Man. You could just swing by. I love it. Yep. So we're excited about 2021. I think our goal was to share some of our excitement, our processes and how we do it, and then just model it. There's no way you cannot be successful in 2021. So please go join our lifetime value, be at our marketplace. And because we don't want to have to, I'm going to call it nickel and dime, say, okay, it's $47. You can't come. Just join and be part of it. It's 48 cents an hour, for God's sakes. God's sakes, people, I say. Thomas, Steve, anything else to wrap up our time together?
No, this is a ripping good offer. This is something the team has been putting together for the better part of a couple of weeks now, and we're loving this. We're loving what we've put together for everyone here. We'd love to see everyone take advantage of it, because you're not going to be 48 cents an hour for a marketplace. I mean, there's other people out there that are doing this stuff, and they're charging 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks an hour just for that. And we put our money where our mouth is. We're making this happen for you all. So we're looking forward to seeing you join the community, take up this offer, and then really get towards building that life that you want to have.
Awesome. So we're going to leave this up. I'm going to depart. We will send this replay out, I think, to the entire database, right, Thomas? This replay will go to our entire database if you need it, because here's what I would say. Where can we put it? Can we put it in the Millionaires in Training where they can forward it out to their socially friend? Because some of their social friends might say, well, who is this woman and what are they doing? So why not just replay the video, gather up a whole bunch of people, put it on your social channel, get people to know, who you are and who I am to you. You can say, I'm already, in Laurel's coaching program, or Laurel's my mentor, and want you to be part of making money next year. You have a great year too, and get people to join socially so you get tickets in to win. So a lot of layers in our campaigning right now. So keep up is all I'm going to tell you. Keep up. And then next Tuesday, I'll be broadcasting live from New Orleans. I'm super excited. I will be super loud about that because my son's playing his first bowl game next Wednesday at 2:30 Central Time. So I'll be, being a proud mama moment about that. And what else to wrap up? Put January 5th, but it's going to be 2 hours. Notice we were a good hour and 25 right now. So it'll be a good 2 hours because, as you can imagine, we take the 8 areas and we do your stop, starts, continues, and we prioritize, and then we get to a revenue producing day. So now we got to put some meat to all of this. So in the meantime, practice by putting your commitments out on Millionaires in Training. Go back out to that group, and we'll put the replays up. We'll put the offer up. And anything that you need, always connect with Thomas or the team, and we will make sure we get what you need. Awesome. Have a great day. Thank you.